I think it's been really important for me to like be kind to people and really build honest relationships with people. Because I really think it doesn't matter how much you know if you're not able to connect with people. When we're talking about food and bodies and nutrition, it's so personal. So I think for me, it's helped to really focus on the relationship building piece and just try to make good connections with people and be nice to people along the way is important.
Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots around my neck. Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself in check.
Welcome to the Keller and Kess Show.
I'm Megan Keller.
And I'm Amanda Kessel. Now for today's sponsor, Alpha Elite Athletics, a new brand Megs and I have been rocking and are fully obsessed. We can't go anywhere without rocking our athlete gear, whether it's for a workout at the gym or watching playoff hockey on the couch. Alpha Elite was founded on the principle of being proud but never satisfied, and you should feel the same when it comes to high-quality, performance-driven apparel. Months are spent perfecting each design to make you feel confident and comfortable in every step you take. With a wide variety of collections to choose from, you ladies are sure to find workout and athleisure apparel that works as hard as you do. From Alpha Lux's soft bras and bottoms to their incredibly flexible Surface collection, all the way to their breathable, form-fitting, seamless line, including their iconic Amplify leggings and shorts. With new products dropping monthly, look no further than Alpha Elite for all your summer essentials. Head to AthleteAthletics.com to see what everyone is talking about. New customers can use the code ALPHAPROS15 for 15% off their first purchase. That's AlphaEliteAthletics.com. And new customer code ALPHAPROS15, all caps, at checkout for 15% off your entire first order today. You can rep the same Megs, same sweatshirts the Megs and I are repping today.
Oh, Meg, I'm struggling.
Me too.
Back from our Vegas trip here. It's been out there. It's not too bad. Like, you get exhausted at nighttime, but it's like you push through it. That casino.
You just like run off of
Yeah.
energy because everything is so bright when you step outside and there's always people around that you like don't
No.
get tired.
It feels like, yeah, like 4 a.m. there feels like 8 p.m., right? So
Yeah. Well, we do have the time change too.
coming back.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Like going there, like we were waking up at like 8 a.m., I feel like, which isn't like super early, but when you're in Vegas and kind of like on vacation a
Yeah.
little bit, we were trying to sleep in and we just couldn't make it past 8.
But then when you come back, you're getting up at 4 a.m., 4 or 5 a.m., and it's just, that's been killing me. So tough couple days here.
I had to work out right when I returned at 8 a.m. I got in that night, and then 8 a.m. workouts the next day, and my heart rate was
Was
through
it?
the roof. Oh my
Did
gosh!
Mike know where you were?
Well, even my yeah, he did.
An easy workout?
He did.
No?
No.
He hammered you?
Right back to it.
Damn.
Yep,
Let it go.
got to
Yep.
sweat it out. If you want to dance, you got to pay the fiddler.
Exactly. I haven't heard that one.
My brother likes that
Yeah.
one.
I like it.
He'd always be like, if you want to dance, got to
Yep.
pay the fiddler.
You wanna
So we're
play
paying it.
hard, you gotta work, or no, work hard. No, play hard. You gotta work hard. That one?
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah. But play
What?
hard, then you gotta work hard. Okay, I'm just,
Okay.
no more analogies.
Somebody help Kess out with that
Let
quote.
me know
'cause
what the real quote is, alright?
I don't know. I don't know if that's it. I'm not sure
We're
I've heard
still
that one.
recovering.
Yeah, all I've been doing is I can't keep
No.
my eyes open.
But you know what, like, I would say that was a successful trip. We had no one sick, right?
No,
No one's
never.
sick. It's just like the hours that you sleep.
Got some
Yeah.
tan. Me and Hannah, one day you guys were swirling around in the casino, and me and Hannah spent like 5 hours by the pool.
We started calling it swirling. That was our term for checking out what the tables and the slots were doing. So
Yeah, I feel like there's always a new term
Somebody was swirling that meant, yeah.
swirling.
Didn't really see
They were
many
going around.
famous people, surprisingly.
I don't think I saw
No,
anybody.
just Kygo on stage.
Kygo. Kygo is sweet. I don't know how we ended up like on stage behind his DJ booth. We just somehow made our way there and
Snuck our,
he was
yeah,
unreal.
so good. He's one of the best. Like, he's not too intense, but it's upbeat.
Yeah, he's like got softer
Hmm.
softer
Yeah,
beats
highly
to it.
recommend going to Kygo. Worth it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, and I did on Sunday in Vegas. I did that. It was like a girls try hockey, like learn to
oh,
play
nice.
thing. Here it was Vegas Golden Knights teamed up with Bauer, and these girls came in. We fitted them all with new sets of gear that they get to keep,
That's awesome.
and then they came back. We did some off ice and got on the
How
ice
many
with them.
girls?
And
Nice.
30.
That's a good amount,
Yep.
actually.
Yeah, and some were just trying for the first time. Some like
Buzzing.
were pretty good skaters, yeah. But there were some little pipsqueaks out there, and they were so cute. Like pants are falling down, they're coming up. Like, Coach Megan, do you think you can tie my pants a little tighter? Like they were like literally touching the
I
ice. It was
love that.
so
That's my
funny.
favorite.
Yeah, there's nothing like cuter than little
Yeah,
kids in hockey gear, but they were awesome.
that's awesome.
So that was a fun way to
Hmm.
end the trip.
Get a little. Did you get a bankroll for that? Yeah. That makes up for the casino. You
Oh
gotta make it
yeah.
up somehow.
My strategy when like I don't go to the casino like ever really unless we go to Vegas or like a fun trip
Yeah.
every now and then because like I don't know, I'm not like a big gambler or but I when I go I know I'm gonna be losing
Hmm.
that money. You know, like I go with the intent like okay, like I'm spending this. It's for
Yeah.
fun. It's probably gonna be gone. I'm not gonna win anything. But when I do win something, then I'm like
It's the best.
hooks you right back in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally like golf. It's like horrible shot, horrible shot, horrible shot. Great shot.
Sucks you in.
Now I like
Yeah,
golf again. Yeah,
it's
right?
true. Gambling equals golf. I
Yep.
wish. Yep. Good.
Except I need a golf lesson.
Yeah, I need to get back at it too. It's been a few years, so.
I feel like you're a pretty good golfer
I
though.
was, and now I probably stink, but
Yeah. Yeah, you were a country club kid, weren't you?
yeah,
Tennis and golf
yep,
lessons.
that's what I did.
I was like a local pool kid.
Were you on
Like there was tennis
swimming
lessons.
live team? Oh, okay.
No. No. I probably should have been a swimmer to
Yeah,
be honest.
you should have been.
I've got the long limbs. Yeah. I was a certified lifeguard in high school.
And that's not impressive.
Hmm. It was
What does that
hard.
mean?
You gotta save, yeah. You had to save some
Kids?
like big kids,
They were
like kids our
saving.
age,
You did? No
adults.
way. You went in there after somebody before?
Well, like it was a high school class, and we had to like save
Oh,
each other.
okay. So it was.
I never actually had a job as a lifeguard,
Oh,
but
okay. So you weren't hired. Jesus.
no, but I was certified. Like you have to like
That's
pass
so
the tests
different.
and be
That's
CPR
so
and
different.
no,
Yeah,
it's
that
not.
is. It's so different.
No, I like for sure if somebody went down in the public pool, I would have got them. The Vegas pool, I would have been in there before
I'll
lifeguards on
believe it
duty.
when I see it. Imagine
Yeah.
you just like start going after somebody and pretended that they were
I just
sinking.
jump into
Yeah.
action. No, no, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Relax.
Been hilarious.
Yep. Yeah, we used to have to like, like those red
Yeah.
lifesavers that they have. We'd have to like tilt it. We'd have to go tweet tweet. We're going in because we didn't have a
That's
whistle.
hilarious.
Yep,
You gotta pull that out sometime.
I
All
will.
right, enough Vegas talk. I don't think we have any other stories to share. But last week we had a couple weeks ago, I guess, episode of Hot Takes. Hope you guys enjoyed those. I had a few chirps on Instagram, obviously, but not that's part of it.
Yeah, the keyboard warriors always
Yeah,
come out.
they're fighting. I forget what they were even fighting about.
I feel like the age-old argument is like, well, yeah, if you
Oh
brought in
yeah,
any money, you'd make, if you brought in any revenue, if women's sports, if people actually watch women's sports, then you'd
yeah,
get paid.
yeah. Those people kill me. Kill me.
Yeah, it's like we're like 100 years behind all
Yeah.
like the NHL. Like you need to invest in it first.
Yeah, they have no clue. Plus, we said we're not trying to make millions here, sir, but we still
Yeah.
got the basement guys.
Oh, simple
Yeah. Oh
economics
yeah,
is what
simple economics. Yep.
it's simple.
All
Simple as
right,
that.
buddy, in your basement, like.
Like thanks Bob.
And then other than that, we have exciting guest this week, Carrie Aprick. She is our Team USA nutritionist, also USOPC. Is she a head nutritionist now? She's a pretty big deal.
Oh,
Yeah,
huge deal. I'm not sure her formal title
yeah,
now,
yeah.
but
Working for the Olympic Committee, and then she also worked for the Pistons for a little while. A lot of travel on her there, but she always makes an effort. Doesn't make a ton of money with our team, but always makes the effort to get there for us and support us. And our team, we would fall apart without our support staff. Like,
we're lucky to
yeah,
have her. Yeah, and the rest of the support
they're
staff.
like therapists, nutritionists, just yeah.
Everything. I feel like in all of sports, like they don't get enough
hmm
credit.
But they help,
They
like,
literally are like the
yeah, hold the
glue
team
to the
together.
team.
Yeah. So she's coming on this week. It's a pretty good episode, some tidbits for everybody to take away. We're still working on our nutrition, so there's always time for everybody to get better. And other than that, yeah,
Balance.
balance. Not much else going on. So we hope you enjoy this week, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Keller and Kess show. We have a very important guest today. Probably going to be the best guest that we ever have on here, although we don't always enjoy the surprise hydration tests. She does have the best snack table in the game, and somehow she continues to stick around even with all of our shenanigans, and we were able to get her on the pod even. So we'll see how this goes, but please welcome our team dietitian, Carrie Aprick. Thanks for coming on,
Thank
Carrie.
you. Yeah, and be nice to me or I'll add extra hydration tests.
I've been doing pretty good on them lately, if I'm being honest, self-assessment. But Kess, how do you feel about it?
You know what? I'm usually good, but I think I'm rigged with the new spit test.
No, you've been doing pretty good. You always stay within that little window. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure
A
about you.
quick little story
I'm
behind
better at
the
the pee
hydration
test.
tests at camps and tournaments along the way. Usually in the middle or after travel days is when you guys try and get us. They like to see if we're staying hydrated, so we'll come into the locker room and we used to have a little cup sitting in front of our stall that we'd have to number and give a urine sample into, and now it's nice that you just poke our tongue and pops a number up because sometimes we didn't always have to go to the bathroom. But people would cheat. They'd try and get in some extra water. Riggs,
Riggs.
calling you out.
Riggs the cheater.
Poor Riggs always gets beat up over
I
this.
mean, there's a lot on the line. The top performer gets coffee from the least hydrated person, so we've bought a few coffees
Bragging
in our days.
rights.
You guys have actually never really cheated. When I used to do these at university, I walked into the bathroom and someone was literally at the tap
No.
pouring water into their cup. So you guys have not done that sort of cheating.
Wouldn't
So
you be able to tell just by testing that?
it would have been pretty apparent once I tested, but I caught her red-handed. It was so funny.
What if you mix it?
Well,
Is-
you could probably
well,
get by with it if you mixed it. Yeah.
Tess
Okay.
is trying to figure
Good to
out for
know.
next time. She wants a free coffee.
I don't know. I think maybe one time I won, but other than that, I get a lot of like fourth, fifth place finishes.
Middle of the
so
pack.
I'm fine with that.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
we're good.
Anyways, Kess and I were just saying, Carrie, how you're our first non-hockey player, but you grew up figure skating, correct? So How
That's
did you
correct.
kind of get into this field? Like, did figure skating kind of fuel your passion for nutrition and whatnot, or was this something you always wanted to do?
Yeah, I mean, definitely as a figure skater, you're thinking about what you're eating, you're thinking about your body a lot, and I would argue maybe more than a lot of other sports, especially at a younger age. So it was always something that was in my mind. And aside from that, I always loved to cook and I loved food, and we're a big foodie family. So when I realized that those two things could kind of go together and that also could relate to sports too, I was hooked, and I knew early on in college that that's what I wanted to do. At the time, sport nutrition was a very, very niche, small field, and I was actually really discouraged from going into sports
Really?
nutrition. But the timing was really right, so that once I finished up grad school, it was like really taken off, and it was just kind of right place, right time.
I like pretty much have remembered you since day one, like at USA Hockey. Like you've been around for a long time. So when did you officially start with USA Hockey? And were you with figure skating before us, or was that after?
It was almost around the same time. It was fall of 2014, so it would have been after fall after Sochi, Four Nations pre-camp is what it was. And I had started with figure skating, I think in August, and then it was like, hey, as long as you're helping us out, are you interested in helping out with hockey? So it was kind of went hand in hand around the same time.
Okay. And which one do you like?
Are you gonna ask her
No,
which
I'm just
you
kidding.
like more?
It's like I can't
Who
answer
is
that.
your favorite? No,
No, but
no.
I think like that's one of the cool parts about working with you is like you also work with so many other amazing athletes, and we've gotten to know the figure skaters quite well throughout the Olympics and whatnot, and to have like the connection. And do you love like seeing us become friends and kind of the two worlds
Oh my gosh.
colliding?
You guys have no idea how happy it makes me when I see you guys, especially at the games, like interacting and being amazed by other athletes. Because we sit there and think everyone is amazing and everything you're doing is incredible. But to see that kind of admiration between athletes and cheering each other on is just, it's the best. It's so fun to
I
watch.
remember sitting by you too when we're watching the figure skaters and ice dancing, and we're like asking you all the rules, or we're seeing
Hmm.
you before or after, and we're like, are we allowed to cheer? Are we like causing a scene? We're like starting chants and everybody else.
I mean, kind of, but in a good way.
Yeah, our etiquette is not appropriate for figure skating most of the time.
No, it's good. And it helps me to talk to you guys because I'm so stressed out watching. I get so nervous. So when you're asking me questions, it helps me cope a little bit
How do you
better.
do during our games?
Oh, it's the worst. JT hates sitting next to me because I'm just a wreck and I'm like jumping up and down and yelling and hitting her. And so I've tried to calm down, but you guys make it really tough, especially the overtimes.
That's awesome. Well, you work with so many different athletes and sports. How much overlap is there? Or is there a lot of differences? Obviously, we have different needs based on our competition level and just what we need our bodies able to do. But overall,
Hmm.
is it pretty similar messaging or?
Yeah, I mean, the basics are the same. Every body functions in a very similar way. And like you said, of course, the very specific demands are different, but I almost find there's way more overlap than there are differences. Even from like NBA, like I used to work with the Pistons, so NBA to figure skating, I even see overlaps there. To me, it's more like the culture and understanding the culture of the sport and how people operate in those environments and how to talk to people and how to fit into the sport environment to me is more different than the actual nutrition differences between teams.
That's really interesting you bring that up because I feel like probably our personalities and communication maybe is different across sport to sport.
I would definitely say that's the case. And, I think a good example of that was in 2018 in the village. I have, in the two games I've been to, I've lived with the hockey team, but I also support figure skating. And so, we're giving out a lot of the same recovery type of items, but how they're served or how they're packaged is very different. So I don't know if you guys remember when I was making peanut butter and jellies for the figure skaters, I was kind of cutting them smaller and I'm bagging them into kind of bite-sized things. And you guys were just could not believe what I was doing. You're like, I hope those aren't for us. They're way too small. So it's just like how you go about it is very different, but a lot of overlap. So
That's hilarious. Yeah, we would devour those in seconds. I mean, you're talking to
yeah.
two of the people that live in the snack room, probably.
Yeah. Yep. You guys are some of my best customers for sure. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, we don't miss a night in there. Be
So
in
that
there.
was good.
Kess, recently,
Wiping
Carrie, sorry, a little side note, if there's been water shortages at Worlds camps, Kess, like last Worlds, we were taking cases. We're like, we're so thirsty, but you'd be proud because we were
Wow.
hydrating. But
Cool. It all
Okay, but
makes
Carrie,
sense
Carrie,
now.
listen to this. No, because Meg, she drinks more water when I bring it to the room.
So you're
So
actually
like all of a
hydrating.
sudden she'll be like, "Oh yeah, can I have one of those?" So then like, I just started,
she'd be like,
bringing up
oh,
a
there's
lot. and-
only 8 left in here. Let's just take the whole case.
So you're just a good teammate. That's all.
And we drink them. And I'm not a sink girl, so
Yeah, she
Yep.
was yelling
water
at
you
me.
can get your water in.
Good roommate, though.
Yeah, but then Carrie, with the sink water, was telling me that it might be better for you.
For you? Why?
Well,
In general.
we did have a discussion about that. Yeah, tap water is highly regulated and it's very, very safe most
Thank you,
locations,
Carrie,
so.
because I had one glass of tap water in the hotel,
I
and
scared
she started spitting out these random not even facts, because I don't think they were even
Facts.
legit. Yeah, Kess facts. She just makes things up sometimes. But she made me nervous. I was like, maybe I shouldn't be drinking this tap water.
No, you're good. You're good.
I heard it on a podcast. Okay. So,
Well, you talked a little bit about 2018 Olympics. Was that your first Olympic Games that you were a part of?
Yes, it was. And what a one to start
Yeah.
on, huh? It was
That was pretty amazing. What we asked a lot of our teammates this, and even ourselves, like about that Olympic moment where you kind of realize, like, okay, I'm at the Olympics, and this is what I'm a part of. Did you have one of those as well?
for sure. I remember, I don't know if it was like the first or second morning, sometime within that first week, just waking up and I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the Olympic Village. And I walk out of my room and I look out at the village and I'm like, I just took a second just looking out the window. I'm like, I cannot believe I just woke up in the Olympic Village. And I will never forget that. It was amazing.
that one was an interesting game. So, like, we know there's a lot of prep that goes into the nutrition side, and a lot of people, like, I still don't quite understand, like, the depths, but you go over there, like, at least a year before the actual games to start preparing?
Yeah, so in the past 2 games, I have gone, well, we start the planning on my end about a year out because have been a contractor the past 2 quads. Now that I am full-time with the Olympic Committee, I'm going to start going probably next year or the year after and do like multiple site
Italy?
visits. And yeah. So it's going to start a little further back, but my involvement as a contractor started about a year out. Pyeongchang, we were lucky enough to be able to go a year prior, but because of COVID, we couldn't visit Beijing ahead of time, which only added to the challenges there for sure. But within that first year, it's number one, connecting with the other dietitians and building that team, and then building the strategies, doing all the ordering, looking at the menus for the dining hall, which we have some say in, but can't necessarily dictate what those items are, but we have the opportunity to comment on the menus, make suggestions. And then in 2018, we kind of had our own little breakfast service we had to figure out and all the equipment that went into that. And it was, there's so many different facets to the Olympics planning, and a year is probably not long enough. Could have used a few extra months.
And you
of
guys
those.
send over like pallets and pallets of, like, how do you get, because we have so many snacks and things that you guys bring from home. Do you ship it over? Like,
Yeah, so it's a mixture. So we have the opportunity to send things on a cargo ship, and it's probably going to be a little different in Europe. Both the games I've been to have been in Asia. So we've used cargo ships that go like 6 months ahead of the game. So then we have to get all of the customs um, documentation, and they literally have to measure each box, the size of each box of Cliff Bars and the
Wow.
weight of each Cliff Bar, the ingredients for every single item you're sending over so it can clear customs. Um, so we send a lot of things that way, and that's kind of through the Olympic Committee ordering system. And then we bring a lot of our own team stuff on the plane. Um, and it just depends on how many bags we can bring, how much space we have. So it's kind of like Tetris, figuring out where we can fit all the things that we
Yeah,
need.
I feel like we're
Like,
we're
what's an
always divvying up like snacks too into our bags. We're like, all right, who can take these drip drops? Who can
Yes.
take?
Yes. Oh my gosh. We rely a lot on your hockey bags to help put things over.
Well, and this year especially, or I guess last
Yes.
year now, and in
Yes.
China because of COVID, like you had no idea really what was
Yeah.
going on there, right?
Yeah, and all we knew is that we could not go grocery shopping on the ground. So if you can imagine like a normal event, I'm
Oh
grocery shopping at least once a day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And so to think that we're gonna go somewhere for a month and not grocery shop at all, I mean, that was very overwhelming and alarming to think how much we had to bring to compensate for that. So that was a challenge for
And
sure.
Do you have like an example? Can you like remember one item where we brought like so much of it?
Oh, I mean, I think boxes of oatmeal. I think every single player had a box of oatmeal in their bag, I think. So that's like what, 23 or 25 bags of or boxes of oatmeal. All those
Oh, wasn't
costly
it? Didn't we get like beef
didn't
jerky or
that get
something
stuck at
taken?
customs, or there
We
was like an
we
issue?
had too much.
Yep, the jerky never made it past customs, so who knows where that ended up.
Jerky gate.
Um, yes, yes. I mean, thousands of electrolytes. Gosh, I know I ordered on accident 10 pounds of chia seeds when I thought I was
Oh yeah.
ordering 1 pound, and I get this massive bag. So that we didn't get very far in that, but just thousands and thousands of items. It's wild.
And wasn't there like how hard is it to deal with like the language barrier and showing up to the dining hall and maybe not knowing what they're going to provide? I think we have a few gluten free or gluten intolerant people, and you don't really know
Yeah,
what's being cooked with what. I feel like you were running around the
yeah.
first week or so in there.
Yeah, the dining hall in Beijing was very, very, very difficult. The language barrier was very difficult. Most places will have hosts or someone that can help with translating. We didn't have a whole lot of support there. The menus didn't necessarily align with what showed up on the actual stations. And then because of the pandemic, their ordering was very limited. So they had planned to order gluten-free items, but they couldn't source them, so they just substituted anything they could find, which was not necessarily gluten-free. So that caused
Stomach
some
issues.
issues. Yep, we had a few issues there. And 2018, I felt like was a much different story. It was a little bit more kind of what we expected when we got there.
Yeah, so what went into the decision that, so a lot of people don't know, I feel like in 2018 we had our own off-site dining set up in like a makeshift 7-Eleven. We had like a bus called like the Wolf Bus. It almost felt like an undercover operation. But what went into that decision for like Team USA to have their own separate little dining area, only for like the people who were in competition?
Yeah, so that was definitely a decision made well above me, but I think it was the idea of trying to give us kind of the performance edge, home field advantage through food, and try to offer as many items that were familiar, safe, allergen friendly, and we knew everybody liked to eat in a space that was just for our athletes. And then just trying to navigate, there's always food safety concerns in a large scale dining hall operation. So just trying to mitigate all of the risks that we know are at play in a big dining hall, and also try to give a performance advantage. So it was a very cool operation, and I think it went over really well. It was just so expensive; it's hard to replicate that
Yeah,
again.
we
So,
It was
we love
amazing.
that.
hmm
It was
yep,
like 5-star meals
It was
and
so
we
yeah,
good. They had
never
churros, dessert.
it was loaded up with like all the candy too. Like
yeah,
I don't even know. I remember like York mints. Like for some reason I would just every time I was there just down in the
But the
mints. Like
rule was like you could only eat there if you were competing, right? Because it was a small space, and lucky for us, our
yep,
competition lasts basically the whole Olympics, so we got to eat there a lot. And then after we won, we were just having McDonald's and and
yeah.
stuff like that.
All
Yeah,
bets were
once
off
we
after
won.
that.
But you mentioned it.
in our breakfast
Yeah, I
club.
was gonna say you mentioned it earlier. We couldn't do
Yeah.
breakfast there, and you guys didn't want us eating in the dining hall. So our med staff, you guys made Med Cafe. Is that what you called it? Or
We did end up calling it the Med Cafe, yeah.
They put in a shift every morning. Like it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
It I'm not quite sure how we did that operation for a month straight, but it's honestly it's one of my favorite memories, and it was something that was so overwhelming from the start. But once it was like we got into a system, it was like I felt like it was a really special like team building type of thing that we were able to do. And Doc Howe was a total rock star, helped me every morning, and the whole med staff was doing dishes in the bathtub. It was quite the
I
operation.
remember we would wake up and we would be like, "Do you smell that? It's bacon." Like one morning we could just smell the bacon. We knew breakfast was ready.
Yep, yep. Doc Jamie brought the bacon when she came. She smuggled it through, so it was something. Yeah,
That was fun though.
yeah.
Go ahead, Kess. Oh, me?
No, no, that's all I
Oh, all
had
right.
for the Olympics. Really, I'm trying to think what else on the Olympics front that we're missing. But
I feel like that's it for now, but a little more serious stuff. Kess and I were talking about like what would be important for parents or younger athletes to sort of hear about fueling and recovery and whatnot. And I feel like a lot of people honestly don't know, like, especially us as female athletes and hockey players, how much fueling we need in order to operate.
Yeah.
And we thought it would be cool if we were able to just go over like one of our normal training days from Olympic residency and like how often we're fueling, what we need to be having, whether we go through a day and we wake up at 9 and have lift and then we're on the ice and we have meetings and whatnot, how much we actually need to be putting into our bodies in order to be ready.
Yeah, it's a huge passion area for me, this idea, like kind of the mindset towards nutrition, not, in addition to the actual information, but the approach that I want athletes to have and parents to have. I think our culture, like this diet culture that we're in, is so focused on what you shouldn't have and cut this out, this is bad, you can't have that. When for me, I want people thinking about what do I need? What can help me? What should I add? Making sure they get enough and focused on that like inclusive mindset towards nutrition and not what you shouldn't have. And just kind of developing that healthier mindset towards it is going to open your mind to the things that are actually going to benefit you. And like you said, how much you actually have to get in to fully be able to perform to your maximum, because underfueling is the most dangerous and the most detrimental thing from a nutrition standpoint that an athlete can
And I
do.
and
go
this
ahead.
is like yeah something that I find takes like years. Like what I've known you now, I don't know. It seems like 10 years, and it's like I'm still like learning something new every single tournament, every single camp. Like I still make mistakes all the time. Like this past World Championships, one game I thought I was gonna hit the deck because
It was
I
hot
don't
in
know.
there
Like I
too,
was like,
though. Oh my gosh.
it
Yeah,
was so hot, and
yeah.
I was drinking water, but it was like I was under I forget. I think it was my carbs, and you
Yeah.
figured out like I started drinking. What was that? those things that I started drinking, the packet.
Oh, the right stuff, electrolyte
Yeah.
packet. Yeah. Yeah, I think sometimes it takes an experience where you feel like total crap to figure out what you need to do and really like amplify your plan overall. So I think almost it's a good thing that that happened
Hmm.
because it set you up to fuel better for the most important games that we
Hmm.
had. Um, yeah, but I think it's just getting out of this restrictive mindset that's just so ingrained in our culture for men and women. And people are so afraid to do the wrong thing that they don't do the good stuff. And I'm just so passionate about that area of our
Yeah,
work.
it's like the same for body comp too. I feel like I remember coming into the program and like you think of body comp as like strictly testing your body fat and like it seems like daunting in that aspect and then you learn more about it and how it can be utilized to what how you can perform at your best and what like body composition allows you to do that. So it's not just like a number, it's like what's going to allow me to be my best in my sport.
Yeah, and people forget that the composition of your body is not just like blood
Yeah.
and fat, like muscles and bones. I actually care more most of the time about how much muscle you have than how much fat you have, especially in a team like yours where everybody is so lean. Like we want you to hold on to your muscle and we want to track that piece over time as best as we can. And less is not always more in that sense either. Especially female athletes have to have a minimum amount of fat on their bodies to produce the hormones that are, basic body functioning, and to regulate your body systems in the right way. It's a necessary component. So just just shifting that mindset of how we talk about bodies, how we talk about food, and what the focus should really be on is something. It's always a work in progress.
And I think it's something that, like, I don't know, I've obviously struggled with, but Meg, you probably have too. It's almost like every athlete, like, struggles it at times. That it is really important to learn and know, like, how much it affects you. And I know, like, now, yeah, we used to get a number for body comp, and now it's kind of
It's
like,
so detailed. Like you get like the
yeah,
circumference of your
I don't even know what the
bicep, and I'm
numbers.
like, ooh, did my bicep
Yeah.
grow? Am I stronger? I'm always like flexing harder and harder, and like, but it used to
Yeah.
just be like one number, and you wouldn't really know what that meant. Now, like, there's so much data, and you try to explain it to us each time, and I think I always forget and continue to ask you the same questions. But
Good. It's good. It's okay. Yeah. But it's like any other data. Like you're never just gonna rely on one hockey stat to decide who's on your team. We're not gonna rely on one number to decide if you're healthy or you're meeting your performance potential because of how much fat you have on your body. There's so much more to it. So it's like just trying to get like the whole picture of the whole person, including what's up here, you know like how you think and how you feel about your body is just as important as how your body functions, and so that always has to be a piece of the discussion too.
So do you mind going through a day of what, like, our Olympic training was like
Yeah.
last year? So
Yeah, let's do it.
I think we practiced around 10, right, Meg? Every day.
Kess, you
So
can't call on me for this. I'm not gonna remember.
yeah, I think we were on the ice around 9:30 or 10 every day. So, and then after skate, we'd pretty much work out right after, at least an hour skate. And then probably 30-ish minute lift. Obviously, I know it depends, like, how hard your skate is, what kind of lift you're doing. But if you have any, like, ideas of a sample kind of menu and how you could nutrition and use fuel throughout the day.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing to think about is when you're going to eat in reference to all those training times. So I like to start with like the times you're going to be active and then plug in when is the appropriate time to fuel before and after each of those sessions. And then to think through the meals as like the structure that's holding everything together. So I would start with like, okay, these are your training sessions. Let's work backwards. And then this is your breakfast time. And then you need most likely a pre-training fuel of some sort, whether that's like a bar or a sports drink or an applesauce. Depending on how hard the skate is, you're going to need some sort of fueling and hydration coming in while you're on the ice. So, combination of water and electrolytes and carbs, a recovery component as soon as you get off the ice so that you can then go lift and use those muscles again in a different way. After that session, another recovery component, and now it's time for another meal. And then we have a big gap there before dinner, so we probably plug another snack in there, a snack before you go to bed. So most of the time, I'm asking athletes like you guys to eat probably 7 times a day, at least 3 meals, at least 3 snacks that are all sandwiched around the training times.
I feel like you've said before, like you should never go really more than 3 or 4 hours without eating something, right?
Yep. And I know this is a strange example, but I feel like when I picture this in my head, I'm thinking of like a club sandwich or a Big Mac, right? It's like you have your layers of bread and meat and toppings, and it's all in a specific order. Like no one ever hands you a sandwich with like 3 slices of bread and then all the meat and the lettuce on the bottom. Everything has its place, and all components of that sandwich are, arranged in a way that complement each other into like a cohesive unit.
This should be your new diagram.
A Big Mac.
I do have a Big Mac diagram.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are making me want McDonald's.
Well, okay. So, say we were having like a medium-ish training day. Mm-hmm. How much should we be eating in the morning?
Mm-hmm. Well, I like to think about in terms of like proportions of what goes on your plate, not necessarily actual portions. So if you're doing less activity, it's not that you want your food to shrink smaller and smaller and smaller. It's the components on those plates that we just shift a little bit. So the highest intensity days, we have the highest amount of carbohydrate on your plate, and then a pretty stable amount of protein, fruits and vegetables. And then as the intensity either goes up or down, we just try to adjust the carbohydrate component. So if it's a lighter day, a more moderate day, the carb component maybe is a little bit smaller and you have a little bit more of the fruits and vegetables on there. So it's more so shifting the proportions of your plate than the actual volume of what you're eating. And really the frequency should be the same too. It's just what it's composed of that's a little bit different.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I have a question
And then-
for some athletes. What types of like snacks or like what fuel should you be having in game? Like in between periods, like what types of snacks are like good go-tos for players?
Yeah. So that's where you need the quick fuel, and that's where sugars come in. And sugar has a really bad rap in the nutrition world, and people are really afraid of it.
Not
But
Kess and I.
all sugar is
We love
Right.
sugar.
Yeah. All sugar is your body's most basic form, or one of the most basic forms of human energy that your muscles really like to use when the activity is really intense and you need to generate energy very, very quickly. So sugar can be digested, absorbed, and transported in your body very quickly, and then it can become energy very quickly. So that's the ideal fuel source during a game. And that can come from applesauce, it can come from sport drinks, it can come from any sort of like gels and chews, fruit, pretzels, that kind of stuff is like real quick energy sources. So at games, that's why we try to have a lot of those types of things, so that people can have their personal preferences within the same type of fuel that's going to work for everybody.
Yeah, there's lots of options on the snack table.
Yeah, we've gone a little crazy with our...
Yeah, I don't think anybody's team or any sport has the snack table that we do. There's 20 different options of everything. I've never seen anything like it, but
We just try, like, everybody happy, and that no one has any excuse not to eat something.
Well, you guys
So,
do a great job. Like
that's
we
cool.
don't deserve you. That's for sure. Like you're making protein balls and smoothies and We've got Hillary out there testing the protein balls each time. She's like a
Oh,
connoisseur.
right. Oh, my toughest critic
Yes.
right there for sure.
I,
Yep.
I don't know if you could ever make a perfect one for her, but
I did get, I think it was a 9.8 out of 10 for one of our games at Worlds this year. So I don't know if it'll ever get better than that or if I can do it again, but I was pretty proud of
yeah,
that.
that's huge. That's a 10 out of
Yeah, that
10.
is because
Thank you.
she's like the biggest fan of the protein balls. She'll like hoard them in her stall.
Yeah, steals them in cups,
I know. I know.
tapes
For
them up
sure.
for later on. But
Hey, if she gets a
It
hat
hey,
should.
trick,
It pushes us on our game.
take
yeah,
all the
she's
protein
eating, so
balls you need.
Yep.
it works.
We never want nutrition to be the limiting factor for your success. So that's kind of where we're coming from.
Yeah. Another quick question I had kind of about that is more so for kids, like younger kids, when they're playing 2, 3 games in a day on the weekends, and most of the time they're stuck at the rink. Like, what are some like decent? Obviously, everybody every once in a while is they're gonna eat bad food and have the nachos at the
I
rink
was
and
having
whatnot. But what are
Bosco
some?
sticks and Slurpees.
Me too. That's what I used to
So
eat at the rink.
maybe let's give the
Yeah.
kids a little
Yeah.
better options.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, honestly, top priority, fed is best. Eat anything over not eating. It's if your only option is a Bosco stick, eat the Bosco
They are
stick.
delicious.
But yeah. But if people can plan ahead a little bit, that's the best case scenario. So you know you're heading into a really busy weekend. Go with your mom to the grocery store and pick out a few of your favorite snacks and pack a big lunch box and take that with you. So, best case scenario, we have a variety of different types of carbohydrates and protein options from bars and fruits and maybe a turkey sandwich, peanut butter and jelly, that kind of whole food based products would be the best option. But if you have to rely on going out to eat, I mean, I shouldn't say most rinks, but a lot of rinks are in areas where there's going to be a grocery store nearby, or even, some fast food places have items that are grilled or baked or on, a wrap. Um, there's good options wherever you go if you take the time to look for them and you know what you're
I
looking
was
for.
gonna ask you how do you feel about I was a late night McDonald's after practice person. That was the best though growing up, going to get McDonald's
Yeah.
with that
I
after.
mean, yeah, honestly, again, you needed the calories. Eating something is better than not eating anything. So that's always where I will stand on that.
You're good.
I'm in the clear. I don't have any other questions. Do you, Kess?
I don't. Did we miss anything, Carrie? Any topics that you wanted to hit on or think our listeners need to know?
Yeah, I think you have the big stuff.
Oh, we do
Yeah.
have to do a couple things. We do this every episode. The first thing is starting five. So it's like
Okay.
our top
Ah.
five of any given category, and we try and cater it to our guests. We didn't think of a category yet, but I'm just throwing it out there, like top five snack table items,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and we each say like our top five.
Okay. Are these things that I would buy for you or I want to eat?
You want to
You
eat
want it.
because we're gonna do what
Yeah.
what we want to eat, and
Okay.
you probably already know what we like.
I have a good idea. Yep.
You want to go first, Kess?
Sure, I'll try. Number one for me is yogurt and granola,
Oh, we know that.
and throw a few random cereals into the dish as well. I make a mosh posh, so that's
Mm-hmm.
definitely number one. Two would probably be those mini packs of mango slices. Three, Belvitas.
Carrie, hold on. Quick story. This is last Worlds, and Kess was hungry at night. She told me to make sure to say it's a one-time thing. It doesn't happen all the time. It's late at night, all of a sudden lights whip on, and she's fumbling around in her bag, and all I hear is like crinkling, like for what feels like 20 minutes, and she's just crumbling Belvita cookies over in bed.
It was like midnight, Carrie. Midnight or maybe like 1. I
Oh,
don't
did
know.
you wake up hungry?
Yep.
No, I ate before I went to bed,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
that tells me you didn't eat enough earlier in the day.
So we're gonna make sure she's eaten enough earlier in the day so I don't wake up to
Yep.
crinkling and next door.
The thing is,
Sleep is just as important as nutrition.
I could be stuffed, you guys, and still want to eat before bed.
Is that like
So
a
I don't know.
habit thing?
Your body telling you.
Maybe. I'm just hungry all the time.
Well, I think what people forget is that recovery also takes energy. So it's not just like the act of skating and shooting and lifting or whatever that takes energy. Recovering from that, like laying in bed and recovering, it requires energy too. So it makes sense if you're hungry.
Yeah. So, so anyways, 3 Belvitas. 4 has to be gluten-free pretzels.
Make sure you're saving
Not
those for the
gluten-free, but
gluten-free peeps.
those are unreal. I definitely take those. Like, sorry, scams. I'm in those.
I got yelled at by Sav one time. I stole a gluten-free something.
Oh, when you take the waffles,
Oh, I hide 'em.
Danny.
Those are a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a slap on the wrist for that one. Now I ask the gluten-free people. I'm like, is it okay if I have one? Salted caramel's the best flavor of the Stinger waffle.
It is. And like the cookies and cream one, that like always catches my eye, and then I don't realize that it's gluten
You're
free.
just hiding in your stall.
I did start buying extra of the gluten-free stuff, knowing that there's a little
Yeah.
dabbling. So
Yeah,
Yeah, we got sticky fingers
there
over
definitely
here.
is. And then my 5 is those new like fruit bars.
The pineapple jerky.
Yeah, what is the name of those?
those are the solely fruit jerkies.
Yeah,
Those are great.
those are unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, my number 1 is white cheddar Cheez-Its. Those ones are good. Let's see. I like the Go-Go Squeeze applesauces. I'm always a fan of your protein balls, Carrie. I love
You like the chips, whatever those. You get the queso chips. Whatever.
the Quest protein chips.
Oh.
Yeah, because sometimes I like salty stuff, you know? And those are a good option. And all right, I'll put that as 4. And I also like the fruit jerky. I think that's good. That's a good pickup.
Good variety there. I like it. Well, I think I love Cheerios. So I think Honey Nut Cheerios are up there. I love the dried mango also. And I also do love the gluten-free pretzels. I don't know, they're so much better than regular pretzels. The texture, I think, is what it is. What else? Oh, the Cheez-Its. Yeah. Love Cheez-Its. And then the peanut butter pretzels.
Those are good too.
Which, yeah, I've backed off on buying because people were yelling at me because they couldn't stop
eating.
themselves from eating it. And they were like, you gotta stop buying these. We can't stop eating them.
What
So
is
now they're like
what is the
treat.
quickest snack that like goes off the table fastest with our group? Is there one in particular that we just devour?
Yes. Oh well, the waffles.
I've
Although those have slowed a little bit since they're not like shiny and new anymore. The dried mango, especially in the little bags versus the big bag, those always go. What else? Yeah, the energy bites, those go fast. People have to like claim their cup full.
I feel like the mush was a new addition
I heard about
that
those.
people
Yeah.
liked.
Yeah. Yeah. We're always looking for new suggestions, so
You're
try to change
you're
it
coming
up
to
a
the
little
right
bit.
group, so we'll let you know.
Yeah. You're not shy about it, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
we're probably a little less shy about that than your figure skaters or even the NBA guys. We're a big snack table team.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
And then the last thing that we like to do with all of our guests, it's called the It Factor. Kess kind of came up with it, and it's what you think has made you so successful, a certain characteristic or trait that you would claim to be your It Factor, and how it's helped you to get to where you are.
Well, I feel like I'm really lucky to be in the position, and there's so many great people around me and that have taught me so much and that I've really looked up to, and including you guys as athletes, like so much inspiration from you guys. So number one, it's not all like me. I give so much credit to everyone else that's been part of the journey. I think it's been really important for me to like be kind to people and really build honest relationships with people, because I really think it doesn't matter how much you know if you're not able to connect with people. When we're talking about food and bodies and nutrition, it's so personal. So I think for me, it's helped to really focus on the relationship building piece and just try to make good connections with people, and be nice to people along the way is important.
Kess and I are like both
We can
nodding our
attest to
heads because
that.
we're like, yep, you literally
Yeah.
are a saving
Carrie's a
grace.
sweetheart. And then like if we let you down, then like yeah, I feel so guilty. Like
Never let me down, just for the
Like you and
record.
the entire med staff, like after a long,
yeah.
tough day or like when things happen, it's like we just like look at you guys, you make us feel better. It has like nothing to do with like nutrition or anything like that. It's like can't imagine going anywhere without you guys. You're like our moms.
No, we love it. We love it so much. And it's just like, yeah, it's just creating like a culture and an environment for you guys to be successful. And food is a part of that, but there's so much more to it. So,
And then of course your husband listening in the background. Huge part of it. Give him
yes,
a shout out.
a huge, huge support system that wouldn't be here without him, that's for sure.
That's unreal.
Thank you so much for coming on, our first non-Olympian, but you're basically an Olympian. They had it in nutrition, so you're awesome. We love having you on our team and having you as a friend. So thank you
Thanks,
again.
Carrie.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate it.